welcome back to our channel. If you've owned one of these, you've probably seen the videos, same as I have, about how these engines starve for oxygen and you need to drill holes or leave your blend door open or buy a special door that has openings in it and everything. You're doing more damage than good to your generator. And I have to admit, I fell for it too. When I first bought this, I looked all over YouTube. I seen everybody talking about opening these up so they can breathe. And I actually stopped and bought these little plugs. You drill a hole, you put it in there, and that's supposed to help filter the air coming in. But let's look at how the air actually gets inside here and what's the air doing as it's moving inside the box. If you hear a mower in the background, I apologize. My neighbor's mowing their grass, but I wanted to get this video up and because I think it's an important thing. So let's pull you in a little closer. Let's show you the pathway of the air from outside until it gets into the carburetor. On the front of your generator, you'll see this 8-inch piece of black. Right underneath there is your air intake. That's how your air actually gets inside. What happens after the air gets inside? Good question. Let's open up the side of this and see what actually happens. And you have 2 Phillips screws. So let's get this case off. Just like that, the case is off. So let's grab the camera and pull you in and see what is actually going on here. So like I said, the air intake is right through here. So if we come right around here, all of your electronics are sitting right there. So what happens, that air gets pulled through here and it cools all of your electronics in here that's producing your power. If you drill a hole in the side of your case, you're taking away that airflow that's actually cooling all of your electronics. Anybody that knows anything about electronics, they don't like heat. It breaks down with heat. That's why I say stop drilling a hole, because you want as much airflow as you can get coming across the electronics and keep them cool. That's going to make the life of your generator substantially longer. So now that we know we don't want to interfere with the air coming in, so right here is our air cleaner. So let's pop the cover off and see what's going on there. Now that we got that off, let's see where the starvation actually happens inside your motor. Let's pull the camera in and see. So the only air inlet from your box is right back in there. And so that's only about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. If anybody ever worked on any small motors, or go out and look at your lawnmower or something, you'll see on the underside of your air cleaner, there's like 9 holes, bigger holes than what that is right there. So now that we got a good understanding of how air gets from inside your box to your air cleaner, let's pull the camera back out. We'll talk a little more about this. So now that we know that the air box has a small little hole in there and there's no holes out here, one way to get more air into the air cleaners is we're going to drill some holes in here. And the way to make sure that we're going to do it right, so we know we can come down, the filter stops right there, so we can come down to that groove there and up here on top. So I'll go through and put a couple holes in here, maybe 2 up here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. And what we're going to do is we're going to open this up so this thing can breathe. As you can see, we put a lot of holes in this case, not going to hurt it at all. What it's going to do is, as the piston pulls down, it's going to pull as much air as it wants, as that motor needs, through these holes without any restrictions now, like it had with only that small little hole on the side. It's also going to pull more air across your electronics, keeping it cooler, and it'll keep your spark plugs from fouling out on you, and hence making your motor run better. So let's get this put back together and we'll fire it up. You also want to make sure you put this hose back on. I've seen videos where people said take that off. That actually is what keeps your tank from vapor locking. The reason you have a non-vented tank is so water doesn't get down in it. So you have to pull that fumes out somehow. This is how this actually works. So let's get it put back on. We have now increased our airflow into our engine, which solves the air starvation. We've now increased the airflow coming across our electronics, which is keeping it cooler. Plus, with more air coming inside, it actually keeps your air-cooled motor that's inside this box cool too. So it's a win-win-win. Hopefully you've liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That way we know you guys enjoy the content we're producing. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you.